for him, definitely. Thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on. Up next on Kennedy, and we'll tell you the incredible story of 2 organ donations and how they're affecting peace.
Ellen Campbell has become the face of organ donation in Canada, but the young man handing her the torch has a touching story of his own. His name is Khalid Khatib. When his 11-year-old brother Ahmed was killed by an Israeli soldier, his organs were donated and helped save the lives of 5 Israeli children. And then there's Marcia Gladstone. Her 19-year-old son Yanni was killed by a suicide bomber in Israel, and his kidney was donated to a young Palestinian girl. Both Marcia and Khalid took part in the Torch of Life walk across Ontario, raising awareness of the need for organs. Both of them join us in studio now. Thank you so much for telling your story and sharing it with us. What was that moment like, passing the torch for you?
It was so emotional. Actually, my daughter took the torch from Khalid, and it was like the merging of 2 different continents, really, because we come from opposite sides of a divide, but the truth is that when it comes to ordinary people, there really is no divide. And that's what just hit me, at that time, that it's just all about people.
What did it mean to you, Khalid, when your brother, as horrible as it was to lose Ahmed, but helped save the lives of Israeli children?
That's mean for me, it's too much, because my family, it saved 5 children, 5 lives. And when I am here in Canada, because I want to tell my story, and I am meeting George Marcello, his Torch of Life, and I am take the torch with him, and I am walk across Ontario for organs and tissue donation. And I want to tell for everybody what's the organs and tissue donation. And I'm carrying the torch for Ellen Campbell, and March 2nd I'm starting Kenora, up north, and I am finished yesterday, June 19th in Queen's Park, and I want to carry the torch for everybody, for the children. His need the lung, his need the kidney, his need the...
It's organ donation and tissue donation, as you say, but it's also the bridging of 2 regions that have been in such dire straits for people not ever getting along, people wondering how this is ever going to happen. Tell me about Yanni and his desire.
Yanni was a very special young man. In his young life, he did so much. He was very communally minded, and he, in his heart, had a great feeling of responsibility for the community, and he was always helping. He even worked, he was the youngest volunteer ever on our Glasgow Jewish Burial Society, which was just unheard of, a boy of 17, 18 doing that kind of thing. He was the head of our youth club, and he would help in the synagogue. And although he was the youngest of my 4 older children, he was the one who made the older ones go to synagogue every Saturday, and he was the one who made them promise they would go and visit their older grandpa afterwards. There was just something about him, although he was zany and crazy, and he had, really this really well-rounded personality, and he had friends who were, of course, Jewish friends, but Christian friends, Muslim friends from school. Everybody was part of his world, and so it just felt so right to us. But to be very truthful, the first moment that we heard that Yanni's kidney had been donated to a Palestinian girl when he'd just been murdered by a Palestinian terrorist, it was one of those moments that you just never forget. And we heard on the phone. We didn't hear through the hospital. We heard on the phone through an interview from the media. And so in those 5 seconds, I felt my heart drop through the floor. And then, suddenly everything came together, and I realized, they were right not to tell us, really, because what's it all about? I mean, if the transplant team are really doing the right thing is a life is the most important thing. It doesn't matter whose life. And like in the space of 5 seconds, that went right through me. And then I said, we feel good about that. That's good. A life is a life. It doesn't matter whose.
Saving lives.
That's it. That's really the most important thing, isn't it? To save the lives. That's why he's here, and that's why I'm here.
Kali, it's so great for you to come and tell your story and speak about Ahmed. Inspirational. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up in a little bit on Canada AM.
Well, it's that